It's called working the problem. Problem presents itself. We don't quit. We don't cower. We don't fold. We definitely don't complain. We figure it out. So now I just need confirmation that we are indeed live. And then we're going to get this thing started. Let's see. Let me go out and back in. All right. Boom, boom. Go here. Blah, 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 blah. There we are. Haha, jackpot. There it is. So I can turn this down. All right, here we go. Let's see. It only took a minute to get that moving. All right, jackpot there. Now, how do I share from here? Okay, no, I don't want to screen share. I want to share like, I want to just invite, share. No, I don't want people to pull up. I don't want them to join me. I want them to be able to see what I'm doing. So where is, maybe I can do it this way, but I need a simpler way to do this. Let's see. I come here. Oh, okay. So that opens in another window. Grab the link from here. This. However, let's see. Grab the link from here. And now, all right, we're testing out the technology. So, show. A couple. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. So we got that going. So I don't need this one open here. All right. So this is all we need here. So what I can do is launch it, grab the link, and close it in the future. Let's see what else. Okay. Let's see. And me see what Brand's up to. Who else? Just inviting a handful of folks. See who I can get to pull up. All right, I got this one over here. There's a delay, so it's crazy looking at that. But anyway, um, who's available right now? She probably is. Mm-mm-mm. What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, Melissa. How the heck are you? Thanks for pulling up. So I'm testing out right now, basically a new way to stream on multiple places. So I'm using Riverside, which is the platform I'm speaking directly to right here, but it streams not only to Riverside, it streams to YouTube, and I can also add Facebook and other channels as well, and it streams at the same time. It's a slight delay, so it's kind of weird looking at that one, but I don't need to look at it. But I'm just testing this out a little bit. I'm gonna share some ideas, but I just want to just see, how it flows. All right, I sent it out to a couple of folks. And then, all right, where we at? So I know when I edit. All right, at 8 minutes. Hey, my folks pulled up. All right. So thanks for pulling up. So I'm testing out this new platform. It's called Riverside. I'm using it here. However, I'm using it on Riverside, right? But it's also streaming to YouTube, and then I can stream it to Facebook, and it says I can stream it to TikTok and all these other places. So we are testing this out, and since I got you here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share an idea because I'm gonna actually use this. Um, let's see. I can hear and see you loud and clear, my brother. I appreciate you, family. Appreciate you. All righty. All right. So since I got a couple of y'all here, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for pulling up for show. So now let me close this. So I'm gonna go ahead and share an idea since I got y'all here, right? Here's here's the idea. Here's what's on my heart to share. Um, I I struggle when I have conversations with people sometimes. Why is that, Reese? Because I often see they say they want a thing, but then their life doesn't resemble the thing. Their life doesn't align with the person who desires that particular thing. And I wonder if people really want what it is they say they want. And this is the majority of people. I've had conversations with people where they'll say that they want something, and I'll be confused because there's nothing about them that resembles that particular thing. So it's like for me, right? If I say I truly desire to be fit and healthy and live an amazing life, but right, but I'm 50 pounds overweight. You see what I'm saying? So for me, if I say that, it's like, yeah, of course. People that know me, like, yeah, of course, yeah. I go to the gym every day. I take care of myself. I look great for flirting with 50, right? And I'm getting after it every day. So when I say that, you're not giving me the side eye. You're not right. If I say that I've committed my life to serving people, and um, every day I read and I write and I study and I come up with ideas on how to reach people. Well, you wouldn't be like, yeah, right. You wouldn't think I was lying, right? You wouldn't call BS on that because my life aligns with what it is that I say that I want. If I say I want to build a business where I get paid for being me, and being me is a positive person who shares ideas, who walks in love, right? Who embodies the ideas that he talks about, who's not perfect. However, you people wouldn't call me a hypocrite either. Far from a hypocrite, right? I actually live these things. Hey buggers, love y'all. My grandbaby's on here. Y'all just made me nervous. I don't even get nervous anymore. But anyway, so there's nothing about right. Like so, my granddaughters aren't surprised. Like, what is he doing? Like they know that this is who I am and this is what I do. Sadly, though, some people say they want something. However, there's nothing in their lives that points to that thing. There's nothing in their habits and rituals that says, I want that. People say they want to be successful, but people say they want to be healed, but people say they want to grow in this area, but people say they want to develop this particular skill, but people say they want to do this, but where's the, it's like, where's the evidence? Right? Where's the evidence? So I really wonder if people really want what it is they say that they want. And so let's think about it. When I look at this, right, I wonder if, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna give some ideas to help clear this up for us. The first thing is this your mountain? We have to ask ourselves, is this my mountain? What are you talking about? Is this my mountain? Because I'm claiming to be interested in, I'm claiming to have a desire, I'm claiming to want this particular thing, right? However, there's nothing about my life that aligns with, right, this particular thing. Maybe they're just trying to change and just don't know how. I love that comment, Melissa. Thank you for that. So let's unpack that before I go on because I love that comment because a lot of us will say that. And then in love, we have to really ask ourselves, is that really the case? Is that really the truth? For instance, if I say I want to write a book and I have no idea what to do, where to start, how to write a book. Well, do I just stop there because I don't know how? Or, right, do I turn and face the direction of the thing that I want and start to work the problem, right? I grab this fancy thing that I have here, right? See my baby's on there. I grab this fancy thing that I have and I ask it, I want to write a book. Where do I start? Give me some tips. What are the steps? Right? I see people publishing books all the time. They're no sharper than I am. How do I do this? And when I get the instructions, here's the key. I actually start to execute on those steps. I take step one. And someone might say, well, that's a lot. And I get it. But here's what I believe to be true. And please, if you disagree, anyone, anywhere, let's talk about it. I believe that step one is always manageable. I believe that all life is ever asking of us is to take one step. Now, because we're complicated human beings, we have 99,000 things going on in our head at once. And so it clouds our vision and we spread ourselves very, very thin and we're looking at all those 99,000 things. However, life is not asking us to do those things. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a pop. Right now, I'm not husbanding, I'm not fathering, I'm not pop-popping. Well, maybe because my granddaughters are on here, but but right now I'm focused. Right now I'm here. Dee, what's up, sis? So, right, if I really desire a thing, then it's my responsibility, right, to gather the information, to figure out what the steps are in order to accomplish that thing, and then I need to start working toward it. I need to take the first step. And the problem with most of us is we won't take that first step. We're afraid to take that first step, or we'll take that first step and then we'll just freeze. And then we're taking like one step here, and then we're freezing, and then, right? It shows itself in 1,001 different ways. The point is, and that's a really great point that you made, Melissa, right? She said maybe they're trying to change and just don't know how. Well, if we're being honest, is that the truth? Let's think about it, right? I like to break things down in these four quadrants of life. If I want to be healed mentally and emotionally, right? If I want to improve my mental and emotional health, and let's say I have no idea what to do. Okay, great. I can literally talk to this thing. I can literally get information. Some of you are watching literally on YouTube. You can literally type in the search, right? Healing from dot, 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 and start getting some information. So information is literally everywhere. So much so that I believe we don't even see it anymore because we're in a place now where we literally have unlimited information. And now over the last couple of years, the LLMs have come out, the chat GPTs and such. Now we really are just drowning in information. So information isn't the thing. Knowing how is not the thing that's stopping us. And you know what? I believe that that's the story that we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves we don't know how. However, if we're honest, is that the truth? And that's a personal question that each of us has to explore. Is that the truth? Am I being honest with myself right now? Am I by saying I don't know? And knowing doesn't mean you have all the answers. However, you do know the first step you need to take. And if you don't, it's actually very easy. It's simple and it's easy. I was going to say, it's simple but not easy, but actually it is easy. It's easy to find out the first step. So if I want to be healed mentally and emotionally, if I'm struggling with this or that, if I'm going through grief, if I'm going through this, if I went through a breakup, if I'm struggling with raising my children, if I'm struggling with whatever it might be, right? Whatever I'm wrestling with that I want to be healed from, that I want a little bit of space, right? I can do that. The information is there to help me access that. Let's say physically I want to change. Okay, great. Information is everywhere. So if I want to be healed physically, or if I want to improve my lot, right? Improve my state physically, I can do that. There's no shortage of information and people who are willing to assist with the process of helping us to develop ourselves physically. And everybody's situation is different, of course. I'm not saying everyone can just jump up and run a marathon. I'm not saying everyone can do what I do and get up and go to the gym every day. However, there absolutely 1000% is something that you can do to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. 100% without question. And that information is not hidden from us. It's literally right here in this thing that we hold near and dear, that we don't listen. If I get a few paces away from mine, I start to shake. It has to be close and it has to be charged up. Let me see what I'm on. Yeah, shoot. so if I want to be healed mentally and emotionally, I can access the information. If I want to be healed physically, I can access the information, right? I can keep going, right? If I want to learn how to develop healthier relationships, I have the information. And not only do we have information, right? I think we can all agree on that. There are also people who have committed their lives to helping us navigate the information, to help us to apply it, help us by repackaging the information in language that we understand in a way that works for us. So if it's not lack of information and it's not lack of support, because at the most, this is what I'm solving for literally right now, right? I'm a one-man show essentially. Great, one-man army. So I do what I do, and I'm allowing the technology to be the team. Riverside's my team right now. It's recording this information, it's streaming it out to other channels, right? And when I'm done with the video, it's going to download the video and then it's going to chop it up and create a bunch of short clips from this video so that I can then post them right here as YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, excuse me, choose to post them. So perhaps once upon a time, that was a person I had to pay to do that. Now the technology does it. Does it cost? Yes, it costs. Is it expensive or life changing? No. And is it worth it? Absolutely. It's a minor fraction of the cost of hiring the team of people that, would have had to do this in the past. So the technology is here to support us if we would be so willing to show up and support ourselves. So it's not information and it's not lack of support. Because what magically happens is, and I'm living proof of this, the more I show up for me, the easier I am to support. So I just got to continue. I just got to stay the course. And then honestly, my mission is my mission. I'm here to carry out my mission. And when I take my eyes off my own paper and start minding other people's business and start seeing how they doing it and what they doing and what's this and what's that, and man, that don't make no sense. And let me try this and let me try that. Every time I get derailed, that's what happens. I start minding other people's business and trying to figure this out and put this together, and that's none of my business. I need to stay focused on my business. I need to stay focused on my paper. And the more I do that, the more progress I make, the more successful I become. And so support starts with me. I have to be my number one supporter. I have to show up every day and embody the ideas, right, that I say that I want to embody. I need to create the identity through my actions of the person that I want to become. And is it a process? Of course, everything is a process. However, there's nothing stopping me from doing that except for me. So it's not lack of information. It's not lack of support. It's not lack of time. Because if you can scroll, if you can, if you can binge watch TV shows, if you can do X, then you have time to do Y. So it's just a matter of, right, deciding what's important. It's a matter of prioritizing what it is you want, how you're going to invest your time and energy. And so, with that in mind, I think about back to where I started, right? What Why doesn't your life resemble the goals or the outcomes that you claim that you want? And it's a gut check for each of us. I have to look at my life and say, wow, you know what? I'm better than this. Wow, you know what? Why am I settling for good when great is available? I'm so much better than this. Yeah, I did that and that was cool and all, but that was just scratching the surface. That took minimal effort. So what am I doing? Why am I getting in my own way? I need to get out of my own way and and develop the habits and rituals to show up for myself and bring the best of me to every moment. Because there's absolutely nothing stopping me and there's no excuse for me not to do so. But here's one of the things that I believe gets in the way. And if you guys have questions or comments, please throw them in there. We're vibing at this point. We got the tech figured out. I got the team working. So oftentimes I believe people have goals that aren't theirs. I believe people have their eyes on mountains that are other people's. I say give them people their goals back. Give people their goals back. Ooh, my brother just texted me. He's listening in, and oh, this is a good one. We're gonna unpack this one. He said one reason could be imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, right? I don't quite believe that I am, right? And here's my take on imposter syndrome. I think it's great. What? I think it's great. If I'm here and I want to be here, right? I've never been here. And so the only way I'm going to get from here to here is to believe that I belong here. Am I going to feel uncomfortable? Of course. There's a gap that needs to be closed. And so imposter syndrome, I look at it like this, right? Think about the things right now that you're good at. And yes, you're good at a lot of things. So don't even try. I'm not good at it. Shut up. Shut up. That's love, but stop. there are some things that you're great at. There are some things that people come to you for or about. You've accomplished some things in your lifetime. And I'm willing to bet that you didn't just show up to earth as an expert in these particular areas. Some of you are excellent in some things that once upon a time you didn't even maybe know existed, right or wrong. And so at some point you were a beginner. And the idea of imposter syndrome is good. It keeps you sharp. It means you're not a freaking sociopath. it, right? And it's okay. And so the idea that there's some discomfort here, that's just a signal to focus up. That's just a signal to put in more effort. If I if I sit in front of this microphone and I feel like an imposter, right? What can I do? I can just say, "Oh no, no, I'm never doing that again." Or I can make sure that I'm over prepared. I can read, I can write, I can study, I can practice, right? I could have not streamed this out. I could have just recorded it. I could have just been practicing the delivery, right? There's a lot of things I can do to help me to feel more comfortable to occupy the space that I desire to occupy. But if there's a struggle there, then we have to wonder why don't we think we're worthy? Why don't we think we're deserving? Why don't we believe that we're capable? See, I call those the destroyers of men. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable. Ultimately, what we're saying is I'm not enough. And so when those monsters show up, and they show up for me as well, what do? Well, what I did was I told I'm not capable to kick rocks and beat it. Well, how did you do that? I put in the effort. I learned what I need to learn and I got enough shots up. I've done this at this point thousands of times, right? Thousands of times in person and in front of the phone, laptop, iPad, whatever, wherever, call it what you will. But there was a time where speaking publicly was an issue for me. I felt like I didn't belong. I didn't breathe fire like Bishop Mills. And so how dare I get on that microphone? I no, I can't. But I didn't see how valuable I was. I didn't value my own voice. Now I know how important and how valuable my voice is, right? And so I have to solve for I'm not capable. So that's putting in the work. That's getting the shots up, right? You get in the gym and you get the shots up and you miss terribly and you make the adjustments and then you start to make the shots and then you become comfortable shooting the shots and making the shots. And then when you miss, it's no big deal because you understand that's a part of the game. So you solve for the I'm not capable, right? And then the I'm not worthy. That's the inner work that we have to do. And the trick, the cheat code there is solving for I'm not capable, putting in the work, ultimately solves for I'm not worthy because your identity begins to shift. And then it just becomes a matter of permission. When I hesitate and I overthink and I'm fumbling it. But the moment I give myself permission to show up in all of my awesomeness, I show up in all of my awesomeness because there's nothing stopping me but me. And so all of these things are real. However, they don't get to stop us. So yeah, maybe I feel a little, okay, great. If I feel like let's say a lot of people put coach in front of their name. I see you too, Didi. I'm coming to that in a second. A lot of people put coach in front of their name, but let's say they feel like they're imposters. Sadly, more people need to feel like imposters, but they don't, right? It's always the people who are more than qualified, right, who hesitate. The people who need to sit down somewhere, they are delusional. They just run out there and get in front of the microphone like they're MLK or something. But anyway, another conversation for another time, right? However, we need to, right? These things aren't allowed to stop us. And if I recognize that, okay, wow, because if I can name it, if I'm sharp enough to name, this is imposter syndrome. Great. Right? Your favorite athlete, let's say he was the man in college and now he's in the NBA. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, I'm used to being the guy. Now I'm just a guy. I'm actually invisible now. It was all about me to now, what's your name again? And they could, but how do you get over that? Doing what you do, ball out, work on what you need to work on, get some help, connect with some people who've been there, done that, and some people who are on the same mission, and some people you can bring up. So so you have some people on your level, some people, but do the work necessary. Don't just allow that to just stop you in your tracks. Don't just go home. Don't just quit. Man, I worked all my life to get here, but man, I ain't the man like I was in high school, like I was in college. No, you figure it out. Excuse me. You don't allow that to stop you. It's all in here. Here's what I like to tell people, and then I'm coming, Didi, I promise. The castles in the sky, the amazing, beautiful life, and the chains around your feet, they're all imaginary. They're all in your head. So pick the one, choose the castles in the sky, choose the beautiful path. Why choose to? We don't realize that's what's happening, but it's none of it's real. Or as I like to say, it is whatever I say it is. So if I say it's, then that's what it is. Pardon me. So my sis said it could be the fear of the unknown. Okay. What is known? Think about it. What's known? And the things that we believe are known, right? At one point in time, they weren't, right? They weren't. The things now that you stand confidently in, that you know that you know that you know, once upon a time, that was brand new to you, right? We forget that. Once upon a time, that was brand new. You ever start a job and you go there and they show you the system and you're looking at the stuff and it looks like it might as well be in Mandarin. And then you go through your however amount of weeks in training and you do, and you doing your thing. And then a few months later, the new person is shadowing you and you showing them how the systems work and you're doing it in your sleep. You're laughing and giggling, going through it mid conversation, making that system dance. Whereas once upon a time, it looked like a foreign language. Appreciate you, family. It looked like a foreign language. So we forget these things and we cheat ourselves out of the opportunity to take that next step, out of the opportunity to grow, because we grab onto these things and then we hold on to them and then we commit to them. Like we recognize that I feel like an imposter and then I just freeze there instead of, okay, I feel like I'm an imposter. Why? Well, I don't know if I have the credentials. I don't know if I have the, I don't know if I have, okay, cool. I don't have any letters behind my name. Y'all know I dropped out of high school, right? Y'all know I don't have any formal education, right? I've gotten into not arguments because I don't argue, but I've had people think I was lying about not having degrees because I thought I felt like an imposter, and so I put in the work. So I read the books and I studied and I prayed and I read and I studied and I read some more and I learned how to write and I learned how to articulate my thoughts and I put in the work. Now I can I can go back to back with your favorite PhD. So I took the imposter syndrome and I put it in the fuel tank and I used that to propel me forward. So what showed up to slow me down actually sped up my process. And now back to the fear of the unknown. What, why? What am I actually afraid of? See, it the fear of the unknown showing up is fine. Okay, great. But what am I afraid of? What's really gonna happen? Okay, what's the worst case scenario? Like, what's the worst case scenario? I jump on here, click the button, and nobody shows up. Okay, like, like, oh, like, okay, great. You know how many times that's happened? I've I've been through this 1,000 times where I know I have something life changing to deliver, and it's two people. Cool. Well, guess what? Those two people gonna get this work because I have something life changing to share. Ain't none of my business how many people show up. I want the room to be packed, but I'm not gonna let I'm not, and then look. I'm not gonna allow that to cause me to lose myself, to devalue myself. I'm not going to associate the fact that there's only X amount of people in the room to somehow diminish my value. No, 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 not at all. They're lost. They missed out on a golden opportunity because there'll be a point where, right, I won't be this accessible. There'll be a point where I just don't have the time. There'll be a point where, right, you know, the people in this room, y'all my folks, so we riding wherever we go. I'm never too busy, or there's always a seat or a space for y'all. But for the people that are watching from afar, stealing my information, oh, I'll be seeing it. That's a whole nother, whatever. But for the people that are doing all that, I ain't tripping off of that. That I don't allow that to diminish my value. If I post something and it only gets a handful of views, well, that handful of people, their lives have been changed because I know who I am and what I put out there. So again, what am I actually afraid of? Unknown. Okay, great. What do I know? If I get in the car, right? I know I want to go to whatever, I don't know, Chick-fil-A, but I don't know what noodle head is on the road. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be out of fries. I don't know. What do we know? What do we know? We show up, we bring all of our awesomeness, and we take the next right step, and we hope that the outcome is good. We don't know. So we challenge these ideas, we challenge these fears, and we push back against them, and we fight against them, and we don't give them so much power because it's like, okay, great, all right, I see you, all right, you here, so am I. Let's get it. Like, what are we talking about? And then the best way to overcome these things is personal development. It's personal development. I can confidently walk in any room and I know I'm going to bring value. Any room on this planet. You drop me off, I don't care if it's a room full of billionaires, and you give me 5 minutes, I'm going to have a positive impact. They're all going to want me to be their guide, their person. All of them are going to want to put me on payroll. They might start fighting over me because I know the value I bring to the situation. I didn't always know it, but it's because of the effort, the work that I put in. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been doing it in an intense manner for a long time. And sometimes I get discouraged because I know that. And then I look around and I'm minding other people's business and I'm seeing people take off and get these opportunities and all this and that. And I'm like, I'm 100 times better than this person. But that ain't none of my business. Why I'm on my own path and they're on their path. Why am I worrying about that? And then every time I do that, I mess up. So I got to stay focused. I got to continue to develop me because that's all I have control over, my attitude and my actions. I don't have control over anything else. So listen, if you feel like you don't know what to do, I, I, I challenge you to really sit with that, right? To really sit with that and think about what the actual issue is because it's not knowing, it's not lack of information, and it's not if you feel like you don't have support, it's because you're not on your own side. Because when you start to show up for you, when you start to support you, right? I'm in this room by myself, right? My wife is out there working. She's not clapping for me. She's not woo woo cheering for me. I gotta get up every day and figure this thing out. I gotta put in the effort. Not to say I don't have support. By no means I'm not saying that. However, the reason that I have support is because I always support myself. I show up every day and I put my best foot forward and I put my best effort out there. So I'm my biggest supporter. And it makes it easy for other people to support me. If you guys wanted to support me, it's easy, right? It's easy. Oh, yeah. You can do this. You can like, you can share, you can comment, you can repost, you can refer, right? When something pops up that resembles, no, Reese would be perfect for that. But that's because of my, right? It's not because of what I hope and what I wish. It's because of what I actually show up and do every day. And that's what we have to think about, my habits and my rituals. And I can improve my habits to improve myself, to overcome whatever these ideas and these things, these fears are that I'm allowing to have control over me, that I'm giving away my power to. So, yes, you do know how. Yes, you do. Of course you do. Even if it's, I need help, I don't know how. And then you have to be willing to take the instructions, to take the information and actually execute on said information. You have to actually, if I give you, if I give you a bag of tools, right? I keep these strategically placed everywhere. They're in like both cars, keep them in my pocket. I don't play about these, it's toothpicks. But anyway, if I give you these tools, and you don't use them, what do you want me to do? Love you like I do, but right? If you give me the tools and I don't use them, what, love me like you do? There's nothing you can do there. So it comes down to changing our mindset and then actually executing, actually using the tools, actually using our gifts and talents to improve our lives. So if you feel like an imposter, good. How do we get over that? Change, grow, improve. Prove it to yourself that you belong. Because usually it's just you. We don't think you're an imposter. Because if you show up and say, I'm so and so and this is who I am and this is what I do, okay, great. Show me the money. It's only when you don't show up, it's only when you don't show and prove, it's only when you don't perform that we begin to question it. If you get hired as if you get hired at a new job as the manager, right? They hire somebody outside, not somebody inside. Well, when you come in, the assumption is, right, that you bringing something to the table because they would have just hired Susie. So even if people are in their feelings, the assumption is, and then because you come in and you have that, and you might feel like, man, I was a supervisor at my old job and I got hired as the manager. So now the supervisors actually report to me. There's a whole different situation. Oh man, I don't know if I'm, well, that's going to show. But if you feel that way, then you say, well, why do I feel this way? Why not me? If I'm if I'm unworthy of this, then who's worthy? Who's more worthy than me? Who deserves this more than I do? Who's a better fit for this opportunity than I am? And, right, okay, what do I need to master? What skills do I need to learn? What do I need to do so that I feel more confident to walk through these doors or to occupy this particular space? Well, if I was a better communicator, great. Start reading, start writing, and start communicating more. There's nothing stopping you. Well, if I knew Excel better, great. You're on YouTube already. Get some Excel tips and tricks. Take some Excel classes. Like, I don't, whatever it might be, right? There's nothing stopping you from skilling up if you feel like that's what it is. Great. Or you just don't have the reps in. Okay, great. Let's get the reps in. You want to start a podcast, but I don't know, Reese, you just be going and going and you could talk nonstop for hours and that's great. Yeah, but it's because I've put in the work. You know why I can talk nonstop for hours? Because I've talked nonstop for hours. I didn't show up like this. And people that don't know me in real life think that I don't do this all the time. I'm quiet in real life until when it's time to go, I can go and I can go nonstop. But when it's not time to go, I'm chilling. I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I'm observing. So much so that people often ask me, am I okay? Reese, you cool? Huh? Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Why you say that? No, you just over here. Oh, my bad. That happens in my life. Believe it or not. If you know me only from this, you're like, nah, I'll be chilling. But when it's go time, I can go with the best of them. If we're being honest, I can go better than the best of them. And I can say that boldly because of what I do every day. Not what I think, not what I hope, not what I wish, because of what I do every day and what I have been doing essentially all of my adult life, but especially this past decade. 2016 was a year for me. I went through hell. And now, fast forward 10 years later, living the dream. I look younger than I looked 10 years ago. I feel younger than I felt 20 years ago. But that's not magic. That's not because I'm just so special. I mean, I am God's favorite son, but that's not because I'm so special. It's because of what I do every day. It's because of the thoughts I choose to think. It's because of the words I choose to say. It's because of the actions I choose to take every day. And that's what it boils down to. So the idea is if it matters to you, move towards it. If it matters to you, move towards it. And every day, my commitment, my life is moving toward it. Is it toward or towards? Y'all know, I don't know. I dropped out of school. Is it toward or towards? I don't know. Who cares? I think it's both, actually. But who cares, right? If it matters to you, move toward it. If it matters to you, move towards it. Towards, as long as you move in the direction of the thing, that's all that matters. If it matters to you, move toward it. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from taking the next right step. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from living the life that you truly want to live. There's absolutely nothing stopping you, and there's nothing that can stop you. Oh, let's get there and throw some questions in there for me, y'all. Help me out. Not only is there nothing stopping you, there's nothing that can stop you except for you. The only thing that can stop your forward progress is you deciding not to make forward progress. That's it. I appreciate it. My fam just told me it's both towards right. Both of them. BOFUM. Both of them. But think about this. There's absolutely nothing that can stop you. There's nothing stopping you, and there's nothing that can stop you. There's no one stopping you, and there's no one that can stop you. They can try to throw a monkey wrench in the game. You can run into a roadblock, a speed bump, but that's not stopping you. You run into a traffic jam. You can run into a point where you're confused, where you're stuck, where you're lost, where you feel discouraged, but that's not stopping you. You know how many times I feel discouraged and I do it anyway? Parents, how many what? You know how many times I got it wrong? No, got sounds like past tense. Get it wrong? That it doesn't stop me unless I choose to stop. And how silly of me to choose to stop. Like, and that's what we do. We choose to stop. And then we'll blame what's the name in them? We'll blame the environment. We'll blame the weather. We'll blame the community. We'll blame the pastor. We'll blame our supervisor. We'll blame our significant other. We'll blame the children. Yes, people do that. I've been doing this a long time and I done had some conversations. Woo. Anyway, we'll blame the politicians. We'll blame. And because there's so much going on, there's a lot of people, places, and things to blame. However, I call BS on that. Excuse my language, girls, if y'all still on here. I say that's crap because none of that is stopping us. None of that is stopping you. Again, will a traffic jam slow you down? Of course. But unless you decide to get off at the next exit and stop your road trip, there's, even if it's standstill traffic, right? You have to decide. And that's not often. Somebody's like, well, I'm in standstill traffic right now. Okay, great. What are you doing while you're in traffic? Sometimes that traffic shows up, to help you out. Sometimes that thing shows up to help you to readjust, to help. Perhaps you were moving a little too fast and there's something you need to pick up that you need for the other end of your journey, or you need for something along the way. See, there's nothing that can stop us, literally. And so, listen, whatever excuse you've been giving your power away to, I challenge you to set it on fire. I challenge you to call BS on your own excuses and show up anyway, or have them prove it. When I used to hoop, right? And at the beginning of the game, for those that aren't hoopers, just walk with me. You step out on the court and they're about to do the jump ball. Y'all know what that is, right? Toss the ball up. The teams, both big guys jump, tap it, whoop, 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 game starts. Well, what generally happens right there at that time, you dap people up, and then people will say, I got him, I'm guarding him, I'm guarding him. And I would take offense to that, especially if somebody was a little too excited. I got him. But out of the five of us, you ran over here to me. What? Right? Or if somebody like you gotta, or if they tell me, oh, that's so and so, man, he gotta prove it tonight. I mean, I know what had happened was, but he ain't playing. He playing against me tonight. Like what? Like, you gotta prove it. So just because the thing showed up in front of you, why are you just allowing it to stop you? Prove it. Prove that imposter syndrome stops you. Prove it. Prove that the fear of the unknown can stop your progress. See, we're often more committed to the thing that shows up than we are to the next step. When you're committed to your next step, when you're committed to growth, when you're committed to winning at any and all costs, and you make a decision that I'm not going to allow anything to stop me. And when it clicks for you that, oh, nothing can stop me, it's not even about me allowing it. It can't, unless I allow it to, unless I give my power away, unless I surrender to the thing. And how silly of me. Why would I do that? Right? Why would I do that? Why would I surrender? Hold on, checking these comments. Why would I surrender? So that's my rant. Anybody have a question about anything? Anything that's on your mind, on your heart? Anything that I said that you're like, I hear you, but. Or anything you might want to say, man, you're wrong. I'm not above being wrong. I often say this, right? Those of y'all that know me know, I often say, prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Proving me wrong would help me. It helps me to grow. Pardon me. So prove me wrong. I'll wait for a second for y'all to throw a question in there. If anyone has a question. Or like my bro, if you want to text one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just realizing that it's on a delay because I just noticed I was just sipping my water and I've been finished the water. See, like that, I'm rubbing my nose right now. Let's see how long it takes. Wow. It's like a 20-second delay. I just rubbed my nose. That's good to know. That's good to know. Anywho, anybody have a question, a comment, anything that we can unpack before I dash? Yeah, we're not letting any sort of fears or thoughts, ideas stop us. Nothing can stop us but us. And we're getting out of our own way. We're being on our own side. We're being our own biggest cheerleader. You're your own biggest critic, so you might as well be your own biggest cheerleader too at the same time. You can equally be both. Demand more of you, but celebrate all of you equally at the same time. Why? You can. Of course you can. Nothing? No more comments and questions? I'll wait a few more seconds, especially since we got a 20-second delay. Oh, I see the hearts. Thank you, somebody. It doesn't tell me who that is, but I appreciate it. Thank y'all for pulling up, tapping in. My brother Max, shout out to you for those great questions and comments, and also the English lesson. Oh, appreciate it, fam. He told me it was crystal clear, audio and video on the iPhone. That's awesome. This was just a test, but this was a life changing test. You know what I mean? You're welcome, family. All right. I'm going to go ahead and dash. This was fun. We're going to be doing this more often. Yeah, I appreciate it, fam. Do me a favor. Um, Make sure y'all subscribe. We got to get we got to get these YouTube subscribers up, because this is my new primary home. Everything else is becoming secondary. So yeah, we're gonna have more of these sessions, and some little quick hitters. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think what I'm actually gonna do is I'm probably gonna go back. No, no, no. See, so you got to catch yourself. Appreciate you, fam, and fix that language. I'm not probably and maybe. We're not talking like that. That's weak. I'm going to actually no. Hold that. The technology, like I mentioned earlier, I have a team. This is going to break it down into some shorter clips. I was about to say I'm going to record like a quick 8 minute, 5 minute, boom, 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 where I just break these ideas down instead of the live session where we just kind of dance around. But my team will do it for me. So yeah, I hired a team. All right, good people. This was fun. Until next time, I appreciate the love and support. Y'all stay sharp. Max, let's make sure we schedule our chat, brother. Much love, Dee Dee. Much love. My grandbabies, Melissa, whoever else popped in. I appreciate y'all. Stay sharp out there.